Hey guys, you're back with Welcome to the K. I'm Shine with Sun, so please introduce yourself.
My name is Young Age, and yes, you heard that. That's Young Age. I don't know what else I could tell you about that, but it's just Young Age. And the H, if you don't understand what that stands for, let me just give you a little brief introduction on that. It actually stands for Habeshas. I know most people don't understand that, but that's it's where I'm from. We have Ethiopians. I'm from Ethiopia. We have Ethiopians in another country called Eritrea. That's what we call ourselves. We call ourselves Habeshas. So I always used to call myself the young Habesha because I always feel like I'm the young version of my people. So I want to represent my people. I was telling them I'm the younger version of you guys because they are themselves in their country, and I'm here, so I'm trying to represent them here and say I'm the younger version of them.
That's really cool. I didn't know about that.
Well, that's a new fact.
So it's like something I learned something new today.
Yeah, there you go.
What got you into the idea of reposting other like local music artists like
so,
music?
What got me into the idea of that was like, first of all, the page I go through is Around the Block. I really just started that because like, for one, I'm a big person into music. I'm really big into music, so I've been listening to like music since I was young, but not really seriously listening to music. Like I was listening to pop music, which was like, you know, Taylor Swift and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, it wasn't serious music. It was like, okay, we just listened to it because everybody else listens to that music, and that's what I was listening to when I go to school because that's always played on the radio. But over time, I was just like, let's listen to more music. And then one day, I kind of just, like my sister kind of threw me in the loop, moved into a new house in Kitchener, and my sister threw me into the loop and she showed me The Weeknd, which I was never like, I was like, who is this? Like, I've never heard of him. I was literally sitting in my basement, like, and she literally tells me, yo, play this song on YouTube, and I was like, okay, like, and I heard it, and it was What You Need, and I was like, okay, this is garbage. Throw this off, like, turn this off. I think it was like, no, I can't even kid you lie, like, I think it was like 4 or 5 months later, I heard Wicked Games, and that's when I went back and I was like, this guy's like, you're pretty interesting. So that's when I started to follow up on him, and I started to fall into the whole R&B genre of music, and I was just getting more in love with music, to the point where like, I was like, okay, this is something I could do out of it. But then I kind of stopped because high school came around, right, and I was like, okay, high school's here, like, what do I do with it? I don't really think I want to do music. Maybe I want to do something else. Maybe I want to do something else. Went to police foundations, never liked it, dropped out of that, graduated from it, but I didn't like it. Then I was like, okay, what do I do with that? Because now I'm like, kind of, you know, here and there. But prior to that, in high school, I was a track and field coach. Like, I was doing track and field, and I got an award for, like, the coach's award, for basically helping all the students like prepare for themselves, like preparing to become like an athlete and just basically running and whatever, telling them to stretch here, to do this, to do that. Got that award. So when I realized, because I have a new a best friend from Mexico who's now an artist. He's my brother. I literally call him my brother. He goes by Hidden on Instagram, and he has a friend himself that's named Paradise. So they were always like in contact with me, like, yo, you should do music, because I was like telling them to do music. And when they started doing music, it started popping off for them. And they were like, yo, you should do music too. Like, well, I don't know. Like, it seems like it's in your blood. Like, you seem like you know what you're doing. Because helping them was what they were doing. And that's when I just started to, like, I came back from Niagara Falls, lived in Niagara Falls for 3 years. And I was like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Let me figure something out. And that's when I figured out, like, I was doing track and field, coaching people. And I got an award there. And I love music really well. So what can I do with that? Put it together. And I was like, you know what? I might as well become an A&R, because that's what most people do at artist management, right? And that's when I just started to look into like artists in Kitchener, Waterloo, and that's when I just started to like, I opened up and I started seeing a bunch of artists here and there, and I was like, these guys are talented, but when I'm looking at their pages, they're not really getting action. They're not getting any action on their pages. They're not getting reactions. No one's liking it. No one's looking at them. I'm like, there's got to be something going wrong with this. So I started myself. I took it to hand. Starting in last November, I started just posting artists from around the region, just saying like, hey, check their page out, check this out about them. They just dropped a new song. They're just dropping a new video. Whatever I could do just to, you know, give them the update for anybody else who doesn't know these artists, because there's a lot of artists out there, right? So I was like, let me just give you a 1-2. There's this artist, there's that artist, and so that's when I just kept going with it, and I just kept doing it over and over and over again. And then now people started to actually want me to keep doing it. And they're like, oh, just post mine too, and post this. And I'm getting DMs every day, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't think it was actually going to be serious. But that's when I started, and I just kept going with it.
Do you charge people when you post?
Not at all. I'm doing it from the heart. I'm not doing it for the sake of let's grab money and go. I'm doing it so everybody else is gaining something from it. not only me, because I know I can charge people for it, and I've seen other pages charge people for it, and I see that those people get charged, and then their page gets really nothing. Their page will maybe get what they want, but then other than that, then after that, it's kind of like you don't really get much.
Yeah, like whatever type of thing.
Yeah, you don't really get much after that, because then everybody forgets about you because they're like, oh, I'm not going to keep up with that person. But it's like, if I just keep doing it from the heart, you keep posting the same person over and over again, people are going to look at that and say, hey, like, okay, why does this person keep posting this person? There must be something good about him. This artist must be good. So I was like, you know what, just keep doing it and don't charge people until time comes when people start, we actually start growing and I want to start charging. I will start charging, but as of now, I'm like, let's just keep it to mutual and let's keep it like a fair, all love in the game, and just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Do you think social media has a positive impact on our lives?
I think it does, honestly, because like when you look at it, like everybody's on social media. Everybody's on social media, and that's where a lot of people, like truly, I'm not gonna lie, that's where you meet a lot of people.
That's true.
I've met so many artists that I've never thought, like I met another guy from Minnesota. He goes by Katie Sosa. He is literally another artist I've met off social media. I've never talked to him. He just added me one day and was like, hey, listen to my song, and I was like, okay, why not? And like, I have nothing else I'm doing. Like, I'm not doing anything better for my life right now. Just opened it up, and I was like, hey, that's pretty good. Why not? So I just, kept up with him, and I was like, hey, like, I liked your song, da-da. I kid not, today, we're still talking. And that was like literally a year ago almost. And we're talking about, like, I consider him like my brother now, because I've been talking to him. I'm always telling him like the right moves, what to do with like his music, where to go with it, what you should do besides music, like your business aspect of stuff. And we're always talking, and I literally just got him to do a song with my boy Hidden and Paradise, both who are artists in Mexico. So I got him to do a song with them, and his music's starting to blow now because Hidden and Paradise got him on a song, and their music's blowing up already. Like they're getting like thousands of people following them, like watching their stuff. So it's kind of like everybody's moving on the right path. That's what I'm just trying to do with them.
Yeah, I found like on social media you become friends with so many people that you have like never met in person.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like there's, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've met you on social media and I never actually met you in person.
Yeah, that's true. Even though
but then I've like we
seem like
we knew each other forever, but we actually never did. We were just seeing each other off Instagram. We're like, yeah, okay,
no,
I've known you.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
I've known you.
That's like me. I never meet certain people, and then finally I meet them, and I feel like I've been like best friends with them
you're
for
like,
years.
Whoa. Why did you know that about me when it's like social media just literally told me that you were this person and that's what happened? And
like even like when you saw me from like my class picture, you're like, yeah, I've seen you somewhere, and I was like, oh yeah, one of my teachers.
Yeah, one of my teachers posted that. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, I think social media really does, like, it has a big influence, and I think it will for the next couple of years. To be honest, I think it will die down eventually, because I think that like once people realize that social media is not really everything we need, they'll start to realize that it's not necessary, and they'll start to get off that, because that's what I think right now for all the artists, that's their main go-to, is just drop on that, and they're never actually interacting with people outside of their actual, like, the actual field. They're not, like, I tell artists all the time, like, go onto the streets and tell people about your music. Don't tell them on Instagram. They're not going to understand you. They're really just going to look at you and be like, yeah, okay, I've seen this on Instagram. Or just,
like, hand out, like, your business card. Just be like,
hand your business card.
People, like, do look it up.
Let's be real. Nipsey Hussle, like, one of the greatest, sold 100 CDs for $100, and JD came and bought it. Like, it's not hard. We can do it. It's just people don't want you because they're so lazy, and they're like, I'm just going to go on social media because it's a lot easier now. I can just click a button and then it's sent to everybody. One click and it's sent to everybody. Which, I mean, yeah, go ahead and do that, but I don't think it's going to work, essentially. But for now, social media will be where everybody's going to be on, because that's where everyone wants to see everything. In a few years, I don't think it's going to last.
How many posts do you typically do in a day?
In a day, I try to do as much as I can. Like, I don't like to flood Instagram, but I want to, like, show there's an artist. Like, I'm not going to post somebody if they drop, like, 6 songs in one day. Like, I'm going to post probably one of their songs and be like, hey, they dropped this, and then just put all the names of the songs they dropped in that, and then be like, there you go. I'm not going to, because I've had people literally DM me and be like, can you drop every song individually? No. That's kind of not how it works. No one's going to look at it. They're going to see one person, they're going to keep going. Like, and by far, I mean, there have been guys who do that, and I'm like, I don't know how that works. I get bored of just looking at the same thing over and over again. I'm like, okay, I get you dropped a song. Thank you, keep going. Like, but I mean, I try to just do like one person each. Like, But like, so for example, if like you drop a song, then I'm gonna like, I'm gonna post to you and then be like, hey, she dropped a song, da da da.
I might drop a song.
She might drop a song, guys.
I might drop a song. But that's true, because like I feel like if you post the same, like it's better to do like one song of one artist,
yeah,
and like how you do, and then so you're showing like all these different
exactly.
artists.
I'm not gonna do multiple of like the same artist 10 times. Like that's just it's gonna flood my page, and it's gonna flood every else's page who's looking at my page. They're not gonna want to see the same artist if they're following me over and over again, because then it gets irritating, right? That's when you start to lose followers, because people are like, okay, I'm seeing literally the same thing every single second.
Do you blog anything else?
I don't. I want to get into that, but I'm like, I think for now, I just start doing what I'm doing. And in the future, once I'm like ready to start doing that, start actually doing that, because I feel like that side of the whole like industry, like with like music and stuff like that, it's a lot more like, you gotta go a lot more deep into it. So I feel like maybe in the future when I'm ready to like actually start blogging for that, I'll start doing it. But for now, I'm just like, let me just do Instagram, get my followers up there enough that people will actually start seeing what I'm doing, and then start like doing something, switching on to another section of what I can do.
How do you keep updated with like the new music, or like just the local artists in KW?
I'm always literally like, I'm 24/7 on Instagram, so I'm always looking at new artists, and I'm always like, and I'm always telling people too, like I'm always like asking people like, hey, I heard you dropped a song, like I'll see, because somebody will repost it, somebody will share it for 100% fact. If someone liked it, somebody will share it, so I'll see it, and I'm like, hey, I heard you dropped a song, so like, do you mind just sending me your cover art and maybe a snippet if you have one? Send it to me, and I'm gonna post it for you. But I'm always just on Instagram 24/7, just looking for like, who dropped what dropped where, when did it drop, post it. It's literally it.
And how are you thinking about like building up your Instagram page?
So what I'm actually doing, like, I don't know if people know this, but like I'm doing a playlist on SoundCloud and Spotify. So I'm doing those off there to get people's like like to get them interacted with all the other artists. So I'm taking that and putting it on my Instagram to have a link there, so that people can be like, okay, I gotta go to this guy's Instagram to find his playlist on SoundCloud or Spotify. But in order for them to do that, they're gonna come to my page and they're gonna see other things, right? So they're gonna be following up and saying, hey, this is interesting, that he just dropped a song, and then they're gonna go see that and want to go like check it out.
What keeps you going every day?
Honestly, what keeps me going every day is the artist itself, because I'm just there for the artist, right? Like I'm there to just help an artist be an artist, not really like, they can do what they want to do with their music, but I'm like, you know what, you got good solid like work of art, and I love art, so I'm always just like, let me see more art, keep going, let's do more art, like let's get more art. And I'm always there like just seeing where the art is, and that's what keeps pushing me. So I'm like, I love when I see art drop, and I'm like, that's more content for me to post. So I'm like, let's keep it going. I'm always telling artists like, keep it going. You can do something with this. Just keep going. Just keep practicing. Keep doing what you're doing. Tomorrow will be a new day. You'll probably get 2 more followers tomorrow. So all you have to do is just keep pushing yourself, and that's what I love, because I'm like pushing myself every day too. Because I'm like, I know I'll gain another 2 followers. So I'm like, tomorrow's gonna come and I'll see another 2 followers, and it's happening. Like I'm seeing 2 followers each day, and I'm like, thank you. Like this is like, it's something to me, because I'm like, I've started small and I'm starting small, and it's not easy to start small and jump to something so big in like 2 days. You can't.
That's true.
So you gotta keep pushing yourself. And you gotta think in your mind, like, stay humble. Think to yourself like, okay, I know this is not an easy game. I gotta do this for a while before I can actually get up there. So I just keep telling myself like, we got this. Let's go. We're gonna make it eventually. One day we'll make it. And when we make it, everybody else will be there to congratulate you, saying, you actually did it from the bottom. Like you didn't start from up here. You didn't start from up here and come down and then go back up. You started like from the bottom and went right up to the top. So.
What are your goals?
My goals, honestly, future goals, is to start my own label. One day, I don't know when that's gonna happen. I'm like always telling myself like, I will start a label, but I don't think I'm gonna ever start it anytime soon, because I'm like way behind on that. I'm like, you know what, we'll get there eventually. But every time I think of doing a label, something else comes to my mind that I'm like, okay, let's do this first. But eventually I'll get to that. I want to become an A&R for a label, but eventually I want to open my own label. So I'll do my own label and become an A&R, and then as well artist manager for any artist. That's my only 2 goals, kind of.
Did you watch the Grammy Awards like that happened the past?
I didn't, because I ended up on Instagram for like 6 hours just watching Kobe's like. Everything I saw was Kobe. So it's like, I can't really watch the Grammys when I'm seeing Kobe. Like, when I'm literally seeing Kobe, I can't watch the Grammys anymore. Like, it was just like, and it was actually kind of like interesting with that. The Grammys was right beside the Staples Center, where Kobe's memorial was. Like, where everybody was doing, like, gathered for Kobe's memorial, like for Kobe. And I was like kind of interested because I watched the video the next day on Monday, and I heard that like. They did a tribute for Kobe at the Grammys with Nipsey Hussle. So I was like, there's no way you're going to get around the fact that Kobe died. So I was like, yeah, I don't care if I watch the Grammys. I'm more focused on Kobe right now. So.
This kind of ties into my next question. How do you think Kobe affected the world? Affected our world, I'm sorry.
Oh, like, that, I'm not going to lie. I think that guy his name will never die. Like, that's a name that will never, ever die. Because, like, in terms of basketball, let's put it that way, he literally flipped the game upside down. Like, he showed a different side of basketball than there was before he came into basketball. Because before he came to basketball, it was like, okay, everybody gets it. Yeah, basketball's just supposed to play this way. But he came in and he just like took everything and showed that like there's a different side to it. And not only that, he seemed like a humble guy, right? Like from what I've been hearing from all these, like when I was watching, like, because I'm not a big basketball fan, but I'll watch basketball, right? I've been hearing all the time like Kobe's doing something different than most athletes, He's not only working as a basketball player, like playing as a basketball player, but he's like at the same time trying to like help other students, like help his students become whatever they want to become at the same time as well, playing basketball, which is not easy. You can't do two things at once when you're like in another country playing against China for, let's say, like the World Olympics, right? And then like your daughter's back here and you're trying to help your daughter's team become something big. But that was Kobe. Kobe was trying to do everything at once, and he successfully was doing it. He was successfully doing everything he could. And I think that's why people are like, his legacy will never die, because they saw the impact he did on the world was like something bigger than most people can imagine.
Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, rest in peace to Kobe, guys.
Rest in peace. For I don't know if you ever, Lil Wayne actually released an album tonight. Did you listen to it at all?
No, honestly, since Lil Wayne went on that little, like, he got arrested off a plane with a gun that was gold-plated or something, I was like, yeah, I'm done with Lil Wayne. So I really didn't know Lil Wayne dropped anything, to be honest. I was, like, not paying attention to him. And then someone posted it that he dropped an album. I don't know what it's called even. But no, I haven't got to it. But I will eventually. I don't know when.
That's okay.
Today maybe tomorrow.
He's like relevant, but I know not a lot of people listen. I listen to more of his old music.
Yeah, I like his old music stuff better than his new stuff. Honestly, I don't know if he's trying to, like, don't get me wrong, like he had one song with X, if you've heard of it, Don't Cry.
I would have to listen.
It's on Carter 5, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But I remember I heard it. It was either on X's album or his album. I don't know which album it was on. It could be on Skins. I think it was on Skins, to be honest. But either way, my point is to that, like, I think Lil Wayne's old stuff is better because he's trying to play with the new sound, and the new sound is not really working for him. I think his older stuff is way better than his new stuff.
Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years, I hope I'm not living in Kitchener. In 5 to 10 years, I hope I'm like, you know, doing something better than what I'm doing now. I hope I can actually take a couple artists and make them something special, make them something different than what they are now. I'm not saying that it could happen, it couldn't. Like, I mean, every artist is working the way they want to work. I hope in the next 5 to 10 years I start my own label as well and have like 3 to 4 artists working with me and we do something special.
And where can the fans follow you?
The fans can follow me at Around the Block. Watch all my stuff there. I'm dropping artists every day, like showing all the artists mad love. And as well, you can find me on my official Instagram, which is YoungAgeXO. The XO stands for The Weeknd's label, which is XO. So yeah, you can find me there.
Thank you for being on Welcome to the K today.
Thank you. I appreciate it and I loved it. And this is Sonya, guys. Don't forget, this is Sonya. The amazing Sonya, the one who does all the interviews. I appreciate her and appreciate her time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.